Okay, good morning, everyone. I'm Yasser Mahgoub from Galala University. The topic of my presentation is sustainability of tourism development in Al Ain and Southern Egypt. This paper studies the impact of recent touristic developments of Sofna Za'farana region and Galala Mountain, its impact on the surrounding natural and cultural attractions. The area is located between Sofna and Za'farana cities. These are on the Suez Gulf, just before the entrance to the Suez Canal. This part is an important touristic attraction for Egyptians and foreigners as well. The area has witnessed rapid development during the past 40 years due to its nature and attractive leisure activities for Egyptians and foreigners. Yet the type and intensity of this development is alarming and poses several questions regarding the human and built environment. As we see in the map, the port of Sofna, just before the entrance to the Suez Canal, and to the south, the Za'farana area, famous of coral reefs and diving. And Galala Mountain is on the top here between the two cities. Sofna is originally the name of Al Ain and Sofna. In Arabic means the hot spring. This is a hot sulfuric mineral spring that was located in this area, and it is no longer used, but it is a good potential for restoring the historical part of this area. Just behind this hot spring, there are ancient Egyptian archaeological sites that indicates the use of this area as a port connecting the Nile Valley with Sinai as a port to import copper and sapphire from Sinai. The area is currently famous of its all year round sunny beaches, fishing, diving, and spectacular coastal scenic drive where the mountain reaches the coast. Recently, major developments have started on the mountain itself, the Galala Mountain, following the construction of the magnificent Galala Mountain Road that goes above the mountain to reach 700 meters above sea level, and where a city is located. Galala city hosts several major developments, including Galala University, residential and touristic attractions, as well as a famous mountain corniche that is attracting many people to visit. Yet the development has also caused concerns regarding the tragic and extreme modifications of the coastal line and changes that cause hazard for people and properties. Several developments are located on the natural rain floods paths, while others are extensively altering the natural environment to accommodate the units. Before 1967, the area was known as a virgin open attraction for Egyptians and foreigners. It was used for fishing, diving, and as a camping ground. It was also featured in many black and white movies as, for example, the movie of Ibn Hamido, as we see on the right. Between 1977 and 1997, early development and projects started with traditional seafood restaurants, small hotels, the touristic villages started to appear. The first of these developments was Sokhna Hotel, Al Hijaz, and Portrait Hotel. In 2007, a major development started on the mountain itself for the first time through Porto Sokhna project, which is 2.5 million square meters extending into the mountain up to 270 meters above sea level. Until recently, this was considered the most ambitious residential development to be constructed on the mountain compared to the moderate use of the mountains like in La Siesta Resort, composed of few villas on the mountain itself. The project offers many attractions, including restaurants, hotels, weekend houses, and cable car that connects the beach development with the mountain attractions. The iconic curved pyramidal shapes of the towers of Sokhna, Porto Sokhna, became an attraction for many people and developments. It became known as the Porto style of materials and shapes and forms that are attracting many people. This development has changed the traditional coastal development found in other parts of Egypt. This is how the development looks from the sea, that it has a beach and a fence separating the beach from the road, making it exclusive only for the residents of the Porto Sokhna, the road that connects Sokhna and Za'farana, and the development on the mountain. The Porto Sokhna style started to be repeated in other parts of the area and imitating its shapes, colors, and character with more exotic developments. It evolved into luxurious gated communities like La Vista and Telan. Recently, development has started on the mountain itself after the construction of the Galala Mountain Road that goes through the mountains to the top. And Galala city started to develop, hosting the university and other residential activities, as well as the panoramic corniche that overlooks the sea coast. This is a major development that the government attempted to repeat in different parts of Egypt to attract the population to live and leave the traditional valley and delta regions. The project accommodates tourist resorts, hotels, restaurants, and other activities, and also residential areas, commercial, educational, and so forth. This is the map of the Galala city, the phase 1 that is already completed now, and it's expected to expand northwest side and southeast side along the Sokhna Zafarana Mountain Road, and it is connected by a special road called Abu Darag access to a resort, Galala Resort, overlooking the Suez Gulf. And it is part of the development on the sea beach itself. This is the phase one that is almost completed with the Galala University here, and this is the Galala downtown, shopping and restaurants and entertainment, and there is a hotel and the mountain coronation. These are some of the existing features in the city itself. And these are views of the university, the administration building, the convention center, the spine of the university, connecting the medical campus with the scientific and the humanities campus. And this is the College of Architecture building. The Galala resort also hosts several activities like aqua park, hotels, port, and other hotels and chalets. The development has started to be duplicated in other projects, changing the natural environment and mountains and modifying them into platforms suitable for construction and development. This is also creating hazard due to the debris that is being thrown to the sides of the mountains, and this creates hazard during rain floods to carry this debris to the roads and other developments. Also, many of the resorts are built on dangerous rain flood paths, and most of the land that is created on the coastal line here, this is a result of the thousands of years of rainfall floods that brought materials from the mountains all the way to the sea, creating these valleys on the or small deltas on the sea, and they are still in the path of the rainfalls. This is the typical pattern of development of on the coast. Some or most of developments are on the coastal line, and very few, like Porto Sokhna, is on the mountain itself. This is an example of how the traditional or the historical shape of the land before development, and this is how it is developed with resorts and facilities on the same part that is created by the path of the floods. So there is a danger that if with climate change, if these floods occur again and with more intensity in the future, this will be a hazard for the existing resorts and developments. And many of the resorts do not consider at all the path of the floods and also the development they have in the coast. For example, this is development, resort development on the coast, and this is how the mountains and paths of the rain floods developed throughout the years. And we see that they are going towards the sea, while the buildings and the developments are parallel to the sea. And if we consider superimposing these two together, we can find that the rain flood paths are going through the buildings and developments. Also, the landscape type used in many of the resorts is requiring large amounts of water for irrigation. Even if this water is recycled water, it still exposes the area to danger of having too much water going into the underground and creating hazards due to the deterioration of the land beneath the developments, and with unforeseen difficulties. Also, many informal construction activities are taking place along the coastal line that create visual and material pollution. The economy of the region depends on the availability of workers for shops, for housekeeping, for cleaning, for restaurants, and so forth. But unfortunately, there are no services for these people. There is no bus terminal for transportation. There is no proper accommodation alternatives for them. No public beaches for non-owners of the luxurious resorts to use. Also, the narrow coastal road is heavily used by heavy trucks and with reckless driving and pollution of air and water and noise. So the paper suggests a model for studying and proposing solutions for the area that depends on the sustainable tourism development approach that considers the four aspects of development: the natural environment, the built environment, the human environment, and its economic sustainability. So the paper proposes several measures to be taken in these four domains. Part of the natural coastal line should be preserved for future generations. Traffic along the coastal road should be regulated. Trucks are crowding the streets and causing traffic hazards. Restoration of the old Ain Sofna is very important as a health resort and wellness center, and continuous study of the environmental hazards of flooding and mini tsunamis that happen in the area. Built environment also requires attention related to the setback from the sea line, guidelines for the planning and architectural design, providing public beaches for swimming and fishing for people, the citizens, apply sustainability and ecotourism strategies in the resorts through building guidelines, materials, colors, shapes, and so forth, and consider the impacts of expected climate change in the area, and increase the requirements for resilient buildings. Human environment sustainability also requires attention through providing different economic and social groups to public beaches and facilities. That will an important measure of equity for all citizens of Egypt. Provide proper transportation and consider the needs of buses, microbuses, and all the kinds of transportation. Also, there should be some alternative means of investment instead of the high prices and the very low occupancy of the units. The first challenge that we have to consider is to conserve this unique part of the Red Sea that provides relaxing and special place for many tourists. It's a very sensitive natural and cultural resource that should be preserved. Permanent construction of high walls on the sea should be prohibited. Landfills of the sea beaches should not be permitted. There should be continuous monitoring of the environmental and urban changes in the region and their mutual impact. That's why we are considering in Galileo University to establish an environment and development observatory, utilizing the expertise and the facilities, especially the geoinformatics laboratory and other equipment, to continuously monitor these changes and issue regular newsletter of the region's status and potential hazards. Thank you very much, and appreciate your listening.